I think game 3 is underway today.
Hello, everyone. We are live, and I hope you guys can all see me. We are live with Sports Talk with Cooper and Chris. Today we will be talking about the Marlins. We will be talking about the MLB draft and the combine that they had. We will be talking about the teams that have surprised us, the teams that have been the worst, teams that have been the best. We'll be talking about some new injuries. We'll be talking about pineapples also. And we'll be talking about the Blue Jays. But let's get into our first segment. And let's check the chat first. So our first segment is... and I forgot to mention, we are also going to be talking about the NHL, because that was the only way I'm allowed to talk about the Marlins with Chris. Why is
it's also I think today's it's game 3 of the Eastern Conference Finals. It just started.
Why isn't my camera going on? Stupid camera. Excuse my language right there. Okay, so instead of having my face on the meat, my face is going to be on separately, because meat is being dumb.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
Okay, the last time you went live, it worked just fine.
Yeah. Wasn't it last time that
Yeah, but I see you on the stream though, but...
Okay, good, it is working. Okay, so let's get into the first segment.
Alright,
let's talk about why the Marlins are last in the NL East.
I don't even know. It's a long season. This is gonna be a long summer. We just lost to we split with the Nationals, but oh my god, it was just, I don't know what's going on.
It's like that 2020 was a fluke.
Probably. I mean, the playoff picture was different, but either way, it's...
And weren't they the best in their division that year?
We ended in second. Atlanta ended
it was second,
division. Yeah, that's... I don't know. I mean, we have good players. The thing is that similar to other good pitchers like Jacob deGrom or people like that, Sandy Alcantara is a good pitcher, but he just doesn't get the run support.
Yes, Sandy Alcantara. I've noticed he's a great pitcher. And,
he's a great pitcher, but...
And about not getting run support, that reminds me of Jacob deGrom a bit. I know
that's what I said.
I know that it definitely reminds me of deGrom, and I definitely agree.
I mean, the guy is good. He has good stuff, but he's just like... I think today's game ended 5-1, if I'm not mistaken. Only one run, and that came in the first inning because Jazz Chisholm got a triple to start the game. To start the bottom half of the first.
Yeah, it was 5-1.
5-1.
And that Jazz Chisholm guy, I've noticed he's pretty good.
Yeah, he is. He's got speed. He could bat.
And maybe he'll be up there with Bo Bichette someday.
Maybe he's up there. He's a second baseman, right? He's a second baseman.
I thought he was shortstop.
No, shortstop is Miguel Rojas.
Oh yeah, Miguel Rojas.
Yeah, Miguel Rojas is the shortstop. Chisholm is second, and Chisholm is good because he could bat. He flies down the bases. Like, I think yesterday he got a triple, and when he was running, his helmet just flies off, and he's just hustling, and then he makes it a third and does like a celebration.
Yeah. And that probably that celebration probably reminds you of those good old Marlins days with with Christian Yelich, Giancarlo Stanton.
Yeah, oh my, that feels like forever ago.
Yeah, because you guys just keep losing your players once they get good and want money.
Well, that was Loria. I mean, I don't know
Yeah.
now,
Hopefully
but
Jeter doesn't screw you over like the rest of the owners did.
yeah.
Oh, another player that I've probably known before most Marlins fans, John Birdie, former Blue Jay farmhand.
Oh yeah, Birdie's pretty good.
I think he played second in the Blue Jays organization, and I've been very impressed because I know that guy can run pretty well. He's good in the field.
He does. Yeah, we use him occasionally, but yeah, John Birdie is really good.
Yeah, no, I've been really impressed.
Mm-hmm.
I think you guys picked him up in a trade. I'm almost positive.
Yeah, I think he came via trade, but I forgot which trade it was. But
I know I can't put my finger on it either. I'm trying to think of it, but I'll stop thinking of it because it's gonna stress me out if I keep thinking about that.
yeah, I feel you. Let me see. I'm thinking, who else? I mean, the lineup is alright, but I think our division is just NL East is just really tough. I mean, you have 4 other great teams. You have the Nationals who just came out of nowhere after being in last for like the first 2 months of the season.
Yeah.
The Mets, the Braves, the Phillies, everybody in that division is tough, and
yeah,
now we're taking on every other team.
And yeah. I'm pretty sure that in the parking lot we said that division will be a dogfight.
Yeah, we did when we did our preseason predictions. So right now it's the Mets have a 4-game lead over the Nationals,
and then you have the Nationals with the 1-game lead over Atlanta. Then
mm-hmm.
And Atlanta and Philly are tied, and then Philly is 4 games up on the Marlins.
Yeah. The biggest surprise this season, who do you think it is?
But back to the NL East, do you think that those standings will change and that it won't be the Mets, or do you think it'll be a different team?
Oh, it's definitely going to change. I mean, we're about to go to July, and this is when the season.
Yeah, but we're halfway done, so you never know.
I think it's going to be tighter. Maybe the Braves get their stuff together.
And about the Braves, that takes me into our... we're going to talk about the Braves during our injury segment. I have a couple of takes about them and their injuries.
Alright.
But we'll head to the next segment.
Alright, what is it?
The MLB draft and the combine. Did you get to see the MLB draft combine? Because this was the first year, guys, that it was televised.
Oh no, I didn't. I don't. I mean, there's only one draft I keep up with, and that's the NFL draft. I don't keep up.
Yeah,
with
the NFL draft is by far the most exciting draft. I would have to agree. I watched maybe half an hour. I would like to say more. But I tried, but it's so hard when you don't really follow a lot of the players. Like a lot of the
thing is
players that are drafted.
Like, I have MLB Network, and I see the names, it's someone from high school, someone from college, but the thing is we don't, I don't know who they are.
Yeah, and I wish that the MLB, that they were better at marketing before the past couple of years, because I know they definitely are getting pretty good. But they just aren't as good as the NBA and NFL.
Yeah,
it's the marketing thing. That's why the MLB is hemorrhaging fans.
Yeah, you'll hear, this player got traded, but you're not going to see that player in what, 3 years?
Yeah,
and that's being lucky.
And I think we got lucky with Alek Manoah because he was drafted in the last draft, and he was brought up pretty quickly.
Yeah, because usually you get drafted and you go to rookie ball.
Yeah, and you just sit there and you go on buses and you train. and no one knows who you are, and then you're suddenly up, if you even get lucky, in
and how many people are career minor leaguers?
Yeah. Holy crap. We have 4 people in the stream now, and someone named Jays Madden says hi, and Summon Boy 27 says hi.
Oh, that's Tanner.
Oh, that's Tanner. Hi, Tanner.
Yeah, nice Tanner. Hey, Tanner.
And we're gonna talk about your Minnesota Twins in one of the next segments. Actually, the next segment will be about the Twins. But about the draft and the combine. So obviously, the combine would be a lot more televised. It would be a lot more exciting if the MLB was better at marketing. But about the draft, really exciting news. They are going to be doing the draft at All-Star Weekend in Colorado, not in Atlanta, because voting laws. We won't go into that, but it will be at All-Star Weekend in Colorado. And what do you think about that?
I think that's pretty good because it didn't used to be in the MLB Network office studio.
Yeah, in Studio 42.
In Studio 42. I think that's good. I mean, it's not going to have the same hype as the NFL draft when it was in Cleveland and you have the commissioner come out and everyone's like cheering the commissioner or booing the commissioner.
Maybe it will be like that. You never know what the MLB has up their bum. Maybe they have something special.
Maybe, but I mean, these aren't players. I mean, you're not going to compare the hype that Trevor Lawrence had for the Jacksonville Jaguars to a guy that you've never heard of coming out of high school or in college playing baseball.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. But I think it's good.
I think it's definitely
20
good.
rounds, though?
It's 20 rounds?
Yeah, one time with Frank, he told me it was 20 rounds.
Because I know last year they reduced it to like 7 rounds, I think.
Yeah, but usually it's like 20.
Yeah, that was a shortened draft. But I'm happy that's now still going to be shorter than it used to be, to 20.
Mm. Yeah, like I hear, sometimes I'll hear, this team gets this player. I'm like, okay, well, I'm probably not going to know that player until God knows when that player is also going to be trade fodder.
Yeah. I wish the MLB was better at, getting to know prospects.
Yeah.
Because that's how fans get more engaged.
Mm-hmm.
I think that if we had someone from from a minor league town, because I know that minor league teams are very popular in the U.S. Obviously, we don't have any minor league teams in Canada besides in Vancouver, so I don't really know how it feels to have a minor league team. Well, actually, besides Buffalo, but that's still kind of far.
Yeah. All right. Shall we go to the next segment?
Yeah, let's go to the next segment. So, let's talk about surprise teams. What teams have surprised us? And there are a lot. Oh, I missed some chats.
There's a lot. So I would say in the NL.
Let's just go through the chat. So, does the draft still not include international players? So,
I don't think the draft ever included international players. I think that's a different.
Well, I think it includes players from Canada, if that's what you mean, and I'm pretty sure it includes European players, but obviously with Latin American and players from Asia, from Asia and the Pacific region, I'm pretty sure you still have to internationally sign them, like Shohei Ohtani, for example, or Vladimir Guerrero Jr.
Yeah.
And let's read what Tanner wrote. He said maybe the MLB draft should get a boomer. Should get the booger. The Boogermobile. Yeah, that would be great.
Tanner, always with this joke.
I wonder who would be the booger of the MLB.
Joe Buck.
Yeah, I was gonna say Ken Rosenthal.
Or him too.
And you could have Trevor Bauer throwing eggs at him. Because I know Trevor Bauer does not like Ken Rosenthal.
I would say the biggest surprise so far this year, the Giants.
Yeah, so the Giants are actually first on my list of surprise teams. I thought the Giants would be trash this year, but Buster Posey surprised me. What's the guy with the last name starts with a Y?
Mike Yastrzemski.
Oh yeah, Mike Yastrzemski. That's his name.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, they lost it to the Athletics, but it was only 6-2. But they're the only.
Yeah.
I think they're the only 50-win team so far.
And I think what surprised me most is who they have contributing on the pitching end. Guys like Aaron Sanchez and Kevin Gossman. Those are guys that I know pretty well because they were in the AL East. Aaron Sanchez, he couldn't get over his finger injuries. He had problems with his hands all the time. He couldn't get over that, and I'm very impressed.
Yeah, I am with... And in a division that we all said that was going to be between the Dodgers and the Padres. The Padres are in third, and the Dodgers are in second, but the distance is only 4.5 games.
And I think with the Dodgers, it's definitely the arrogance factor of that they won a World Series, so they don't care anymore.
No.
Yeah. And with Kevin Gossman, he just kind of came out of nowhere. I think he was like kind of like average last year, if I remember, but it's still very surprising.
Yeah, it is surprising. Let me see, who else is a big... Milwaukee's a pretty big surprise, even though their lead is 2.5.
I'm just looking at the roster, and where is Joey Bart? Am I missing something? I'm almost positive that Joey Bart was on their roster, their top catching prospect. Oh, well, we have more chats. So I don't know why Canadians are included. Dalton Pompey flashbacks. Dalton Pompey. So if you guys don't know, I actually have his autograph. I've had pictures with him. Dalton Pompey, great guy. I wouldn't say he's that great of a player, but he definitely can run. He just gets his concussions too often. But he still is a pretty good player. He also has a brother named Tristan, who I'm pretty sure is still playing in the minor leagues. I know Dalton isn't. I don't think he's playing this year. I'm pretty sure he's in Canada with his family or something. And Tanner wrote first base for the Giants, Lamont Wade Jr., former Minnesota Twin.
It's always a former Minnesota Twin doing something good outside of Minnesota. Sorry, Tanner.
How about I ask him about Byron Buxton in the next segment?
Byron Buxton.
With his injuries and his regression.
Yeah, I mean, I had before the season started the Twins and the White Sox going neck and neck, but I didn't expect the Indians to, have a pretty decent year.
Yeah, but back to the Giants. I think some of the other contributing factors for them have been guys like Alex Dickerson, and also Mike Tauchman, former New York Yankee. I know he's probably been a very big help to them. I know Steven Duggar isn't that bad. Can't believe Brandon Belt. Oh, he's injured. Never mind. So we'll skip over him. Oh, Sanchez is injured. My bad. I'm sorry. He is currently on the 60-day DL with a bicep injury. I think he did have a shoulder injury with the Blue Jays, so makes sense. Also, he had a lat injury with the Blue Jays. Bunch of other injuries. But let's get into the Minnesota Twins. So Tanner, this is the part that you were gonna like. Oh, and Tanner agreed about it that he can't stay healthy. About Byron Buxton.
Byron Buxton. No.
So the Minnesota Twins, they have former Blue Jay MVP Josh Donaldson. I love Josh Donaldson. I have to admit it. He has an attitude.
He just gets too injured a lot.
And he gets injured, and his calf injuries. Wonder how his calf is doing these days. Hope it's doing well.
At least they won today.
Yeah. And
Donaldson actually led the way. Let me see his stats today.
So Tanner in the chat, can you tell us why the Minnesota Twins suck? Because
they put La Tortuga to pitch like every day, every time they get blown out.
Oh, so they're the type of team that doesn't have a bullpen.
Probably.
So they're kind of like the Blue Jays because they don't really have a bullpen besides Jordan Romano and whoever decides to step up and actually pitch well for once.
So Josh Donaldson went 2 for 5. 2 for 5, 1 RBI, 3 strikeouts. Lovely.
Oh, I almost forgot they have Jay Happ, former Toronto Blue Jay, twice. And he also got beamed in the head with the Blue Jays. He actually has a metal plate in his head. I still remember that time. And also, the Twins have Nelson Cruz, great player, great storyline.
Yeah, Nelson Cruz, Sano.
Yeah, Miguel Sano's back.
Yeah, Miguel Sano, Polanco, Jorge Polanco, I think that's his name.
Yeah, I think it's Jorge Polanco.
Jorge Polanco. They have Andrelton Simmons in short, who's a pretty good shortstop. But I don't know what's going on with Minnesota that they're in last in the division. That we thought the team that would be in last would either be the Tigers or the Royals.
Yeah.
Let's see, another big.
So Tanner, he gave me 2 reasons: no bullpen, plus Rocco Baldelli is struggling to actually manage. We still can't hit bombas though. We still can hit bombas. Sorry, I misread that. Oh, you mean home runs? I forgot.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter if you're hitting home runs when you're getting crushed 14-3.
And that takes me to one of my favorite lines. What it takes to win is pitching, timely hitting, and good defense. Oh, and also timely base running.
And the Twins don't have that.
The Twins don't have the pitching, and the perfect example of that theory of mine is the Kansas City Royals of 2015. That's how they won the World Series. They didn't have very good bats because they played in a field that didn't really go well for hitting home runs, but they had really good pitching.
Mm-hmm.
And they had Yordano Ventura while he was still alive, even though he was a psycho.
I see. I'm looking at your division right now, and the biggest surprise I think would be Boston.
Yeah, Boston's been a complete surprise. I think it has to do with getting Alex Cora back, even though he's a friggin' cheater. JD Martinez is good as always, and we still can't forget that David Price. Sorry, not David Price. Chris Sale. My bad.
Yeah, Chris Sale is.
I don't know why I confused him, but Chris Sale. He's still not back from Tommy John. Alex Verdugo, I know he's playing pretty well.
Yeah, they have a half-game lead over Tampa, and your Blue Jays are 6 games back, and you have a half-game lead over the Yankees.
Yeah, but we'll be able to make some more games up because we're playing the Mariners this week, and that's to be easy. And the Mariners are actually on my list of surprise teams. But we'll get to them after the Red Sox because the Red Sox have been a complete surprise, but I'm sure that they'll fall off after the All-Star break. I'm almost positive. Actually,
we'll see what happens.
I should mention the All-Star game because I know my Blue Jays have a lot of All-Stars, even though it's not in the script. But Kike Hernandez, he's been good for the Red Sox.
Mm-hmm.
Rafael Devers. I think Christian Arroyo, when he was healthy, he was good. Obviously, Alexander Bogarts, he's always good.
Yeah, Alexander Bogarts is still there.
and Christian Vasquez. I've always taught. I like Christian Vasquez. He's a great arm. He's Danny Jansen with a bat. And maybe a slightly stronger arm. If you guys don't know, I am a big fan of Danny Jansen. Oh, and another chat from Tanner. Also, Alex Colomé is looking to be a bad signing. I definitely agree with that, and he was a bad selection on my fantasy team. I think I had him on there. I don't know if he's still on there. I hope I dropped him. Another positive player on the Red Sox, Eduardo Rodriguez, who he had some major heart issues after getting COVID, and he's been really good. So that's a good story. Although I hate Boston, I'm going to compliment them. I'm going to give them compliments where it's due.
Yeah.
And now let's get into the AL West, where I have two surprising teams. Let's start off with the Angels, who are always a surprise because the Angels suck. And as I said, this list of surprising teams, this isn't limited to good teams. It's limited to bad teams too, and the Angels are that team. They are wasting Mike Trout's career. I think I might start a petition to free Mike Trout. You know, people are saying free Britney Spears and stuff. I think we need to free Mike Trout. Because Mike Trout is a victim of player cruelty, I think. And I'm sorry, Frank. I'm sorry for offending you and your Angels, but the Angels, they are not looking very good. And I wonder how Mike's doing with his injury. Let's do a Mike Trout injury check.
Let's take a look. Yeah, they're 3 games back from 3 from Seattle.
Okay, all it says is 6 to 8 weeks. So he might be back after the All-Star break, maybe. But I always say, I always hope the Angels do well, but they never do. Because Artie Morano needs to get rid of his team.
Yeah, they have a good squad. They just
can't
know
put
what
it
it
together.
is, and it's not like
they have a good manager
it's not like
too.
Their division is hard. The only people in the division they got to worry about is Oakland and Houston.
They have great bats, but they just forgot about the pitching staff. They always forget about the pitching staff.
Oh, it's like that's similar to the Phillies. The Phillies have a good...
Yeah, it's the exact same situation. It's just the Phillies actually have some good starters.
Yeah.
Like Zach Wheeler, Aaron Nola. I think I'm probably forgetting a player or two. But the Angels' best pitcher is a two-way player who only plays every 7 games.
Yeah. And he's going to the All-Star. He's going to the Home Run Derby.
Oh, Ohtani is going to play?
Yeah, he said it. He's gonna
the
be
Angels are absolutely screwed if that's going to happen. They are absolutely screwed because if you guys don't know, when players want to hit in the Home Run Derby, they always have bad second halves of their season. Well, normally it happens that if they have a bad second half. That's exactly what happened with Vladdy Jr. in 2019. He had a terrible season. Oh, I just missed a bunch of chats. To be fair, it's got to be big pieces to protect Trout. They just haven't worked out. Albert Pujols, they haven't worked it out. Albert Pujols regressed massively after contract. And they're trying again with Anthony Rendon. Well, I don't think Rendon's going to be that bad. And the Phillies got Archie Bradley. Yeah, that might help them. They do still need some more pieces for a bullpen. But the Angels are just absolutely screwed, I have to say. They are absolutely screwed. And they need to do something. Because I'm going to start petitioning to get to free Trout and Ohtani. I think Frank and I should go do that.
I'm so sorry about that, Cooper.
It's okay. But let's go into our next team, the Seattle Mariners. So at the beginning of the season, they looked like a good team. They looked like a very good team. They looked like a pretty good team. They're still above 500, but they're 7.5 games back of their division. But they decided in the past month or so to just punch their team in the dick again, repeatedly.
Touch the fans and... Oh, did you hear about the first player got caught with the new...
Oh yeah, and it was a Mariner.
It was a Mariner, Hector Santiago.
Of course it was a Mariner. Because dick punch, dick punch, dick punch.
Yep. The dick punch... I said it. Yeah, the dick punch is inevitable.
Yeah. It always is.
It always is.
It's like a tradition. Yeah.
Yeah. The dick punch.
Yeah, or it's just inevitable. The Mariners, they're probably never going to win a championship because of the Mariners' curse. Even though they've had good players, they've had terrific players. Ichiro, Ken Griffey Jr., Randy Johnson, Alex Rodriguez,
Edgar Martinez,
King Felix.
Felix.
Yeah,
King
by
Felix.
the way, if King Felix isn't a Hall of Famer, I don't know what a Hall of Famer is. I'm going to be honest. Because that's a Hall of Famer.
They wasted too many careers.
Yeah. And I know that most times people say that a Hall of Famer has to win a championship. No, a Hall of Famer does not. King Felix deserves it. He's wasted his arm with a good team.
Barkley, Dan Marino, Ken Griffey Jr.
Yeah.
It's sad, really, but...
Yeah, but it's inevitable. It's a dick punch.
It's enough. I mean, they're the only team in Major League Baseball to not make a World Series. Not win, make a World Series.
Yeah.
Hell, even the Rockies made a World Series in 2007.
Yeah. And I have a positive story about the Mariners. So, Mitch Haniger, who inevitably actually got hit in the dick by a ball. So, so he was out for the majority of 2019, I think, and I think he was out 2020 also. So he's back, and I'm pretty sure he's having a good season, so that's a positive story about them. And let's get into our funny story of the day. We're going to talk about pineapples, because today it's International Pineapple Day, and I was going to have a glass of pineapple juice with me. I forgot to grab it. But today's Pineapple Day, and as we all know, Lourdes Gurriel Jr. is known as the pineapple on the Blue Jays. So, Happy Pineapple Day, and Lourdes Gurriel Jr., have a good time with your hair. He's a great player.
And no, pineapple does not belong on pizza.
I beg to differ.
I will have you arrested. I will have you arrested.
You should do that to your customers that you deliver pineapple pizza to.
I'm like, you're committing a war crime. I like pineapple, don't get me wrong, but I just don't like it on pizza. I'll eat the fruit, and I love the fruit, but I just can't. I can't.
Pineapple's honestly great, and it's great on pizza, I have to say.
Cooper, we have a good friendship going on. Don't ruin it.
I'm not trying to. But how do you feel about Lourdes Gurriel Jr.?
He's a good player. His whole family has been great. Actually, here in Miami, with the Cuban population, the whole generation is known for being really good players. The father was good. and then Yuli played in he played in Cuba. Then I think he played in Japan, and now he's turning up with Houston.
Because I know he didn't come to the big leagues until he was like pretty old for big league standards. Because he's like 35 now, and Lourdes is like 20 something. And I'm gonna be honest, Lourdes has the best contract ever. He's making like $1 million a year, when his production should be making him like at least $10 million.
Yeah.
Because he got signed right out of Cuba, and Lourdes and Yuli, they're both completely different players, I have to say. Because Lourdes, he has a he's not a very good runner. He's a good contact hitter, good power hitter. But I know Yuli is a lot faster. You wouldn't expect it because Yuli is a lot more physically big. Ooh, we have some more chats. So Tanner, he said, next in the Mariners slaughterhouse, Kyle Seager.
Oh,
I agree. I agree with that.
Well, I mean, he could polish his brother's World Series ring.
Yeah. And let's just go and look at my friend Ryan Parr, what he just wrote. Vladdy MVP ? 100%. And then Tanner, speaking the Blue Jay language, he said Palantica. Woo! Speaking the language, boy. Speaking the language.
Oh, Placata.
Oh, I forgot that's how it's pronounced.
One more.
And then Ryan put the fire emoji in the chat. Happy to see Twins fans speaking Blue Jay language.
Alright. Speaking the language of the Blue Jays, huh?
So should we get into the injury report?
Alright, who's on the injury report?
So on the injury report, we have Mike Soroka. And by the way, both these injuries I actually asked on Twitter to Dr. Brian Suter, who's who does videos on YouTube about different injuries. If you guys want to go watch his videos, go watch them. They're very educational. But I actually tweeted at him to do a video about both these players we're going to be talking about. But the first player is Mike Soroka with his Achilles injury that he had.
Ouch.
So he had an Achilles injury back in 2019, I'm pretty sure it was. I think I actually remember when he tore it. I think I was watching the game at, I think it was Cheesecake Factory, and I saw it. Or maybe it's just that I was watching the Blue Jays play the Braves, and I was thinking about Soroka and his injury. I forgot, but in the minor leagues, I think it was the minor leagues rehabbing, he retore his Achilles, meaning that he will have wasted almost 5 years rehabbing an injury.
I'm looking at the injuries and CBS, and holy crap, Arizona has a ton of injuries.
Maybe that's why they suck.
They got Ketel Marte, Clark, Madison Bumgarner.
One second, Mad Bum's injured? What's wrong with Mad Bum?
Yeah. Shoulder.
Oh, of course it is.
Expected to be out until at least July 1st.
Oh, that's fun.
Cole Calhoun, hamstring.
So my favorite line of Cole Calhoun. Cole Calhoun.
Let's see, who's next? Atlanta, it's Fried, Soroka.
Oh, Max Fried.
Yeah, Max Fried, Ozuna,
that means
and Travis d'Arnaud.
Absolutely screwed. If they don't have Soroka or Max Fried, that's really bad for them.
Let me see who else is in the big names in the.
Who else is in the injury pressure cooker?
So I'm taking a look at all the teams, and all the teams have a ton of injuries. Let's see. Houston has Bregman injured.
That's not very good.
And Verlander.
But let's get off the topic of Mike Soroka and let's get on to fellow Canadian Noah Naylor from Toronto. Well, I think Soroka's from Toronto too, but Noah Naylor from Mississauga, which is just east of Toronto. He had a massive collision with one of Cleveland's with one of their outfielders, and it looked like he did something major to the lower part of his leg, and I feel bad for the guy. He looked like he was trying to get up, and he couldn't. If you guys go look at the video online, it does not look good. My thoughts and prayers go to him as a fellow Toronto native. And he actually has a brother. I think it's Bo Naylor, catcher in, I forgot whose organization, but their whole family's great. And I hope that Noah Naylor is okay. It looked really scary.
Mm-hmm.
You probably have no clue who Noah Naylor is.
No, I don't. Sorry.
So I just want to mention that. But just about injuries in general, MLB, there's been a major rise in injuries.
Yeah, there's a lot of injuries. Every team has a lot of injuries. Like, I'm looking at every team, and every team has at least like 10.
Tanner just wrote something in the chat, and I don't understand how this is possible. He says, "Isn't there some guy trying to come back in September after getting Tommy John? If there is, that person is crazy. Well, I wouldn't say crazy. It's just overly ambitious, and that will never happen.
He could screw up his arm more.
That will never happen because teams don't just let that happen."
Yeah. Yeah, no. The recovery time is usually a year.
Yeah. Yeah, like with Tim Mesa, he injured his arm back in September of 2019. He didn't come back until like this season, which means he had like half a season, like a season and a half to recover. Basically almost 2 years. So
it's usually the recovery time.
You need to recover your arm nicely. And about Tim Mesa, great pitcher. If I haven't told you guys about my love for Tim Mesa, yeah,
no, you haven't.
He's the best. It's just that I have a love for lefties because lefties gotta stick together.
Oh, okay, I got you.
So we got Tanner in the chat saying, "I think for San Diego." I think you mean I feel for San Diego.
Padres are.
But
what happened to the Padres?
I feel bad for them too because they probably should be in second place. But at least they have a wild card.
The Giants are doing pretty good.
At least they have a wild card with the Dodgers, with the overly arrogant Dodgers that aren't playing well. I'm sure we all know that Dodgers' reason for not doing well this season is because it's World Series arrogance.
I mean, we still have a long way to go, though.
Yeah.
Usually the playoffs talks start around, like, August.
I think we can start talking about mid-season. We start talking about who could be in the picture. And I feel like I can see the Giants falling off at mid-season. Although they
You think the Giants fall off?
There's no way that the Dodgers aren't going to be in first place. They're going to get it together. As someone who doesn't like seeing the Dodgers have success because of the amount of money they spend, I have respect for them because of Kershaw.
Mm-hmm.
And I think they will get it together. They're too good to not get it together. That's the thing.
Yeah.
You can't just waste almost $250 million, I think. That's almost a
good amount of
billion.
money. Yeah. to not being in for a wild card spot.
Yeah.
Yeah, that team's not for wild card.
So now, do you want to do the other end of the bet, the other end of the bargain? Since we talked about the Marlins, unfortunately.
What do you mean?
You remember how Elias said we talked about the Marlins? You want to mention something else? So I'll let you introduce the segment. And guys, get ready to watch me.
Yeah. So Stanley Cup.
Cry? I won't cry. Just I don't want to talk about this, but I'm going to.
Alright, so the Stanley Cup Finals are tomorrow between the Tampa Bay Lightning and the Montreal Canadiens.
Stupid Canadians.
Cooper, how does it feel that the team that you should have beat is in the?
We should have beat them. We could have beat them, but the Leafs are cursed. They are so cursed. They are absolutely cursed. I have a neighbor, and it's actually one of my mother's work colleagues, who's a Canadiens fan, and they were rubbing it in my face. And I want to get so mad at all Canadiens fans. Makes me so jealous that they're the Canadian team to be in the playoffs.
But they're the only hope for your country, though.
I don't care. I morally cannot.
They're the only hope for your country, though.
I morally cannot cheer for the Montreal Canadiens. It's just a moral thing.
Cheer a team from Montreal, then.
It's like it's like if the U.S. was to cheer for Russia in the Olympics, or if they were to be a fan of Russia in any way, they would be ostracized. So that's how it feels.
Or is it like a Boston fan having a cheer on for a New York team?
Yeah, might be a better comparison than comparing it to the communists. Oh, thank you for rubbing it in, Tanner. Thank you for rubbing in the 42-year-old Zamboni driver that works for the friggin' team!
I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, I'm not cheering for Tampa because
to a fucking Zamboni driver. It's ridiculous.
I'm not a fan of.
And after them losing that playoff series this year, you know what I said immediately? I said, fire the entire friggin' team. I don't want to see any. I didn't want to see anyone left, but now I'm more rational. Don't fire the entire team. My father actually brought me this point up. Trade Marner, and
also,
and I think he said 2 other players, and try to get McDavid. Even though it's not going to happen, save McDavid. Yeah. Bring him here. Bring him to his home. That's the only way that they're gonna win a playoff series.
And that's the only way that I'm gonna have hope. Round. I feel that the Lightning, the Maple Leafs is gonna be like the Clippers, that they finally get past the next round and lose the next round.
And they're only gonna make the second round once they get McDavid. That's what's gonna happen.
Well, I mean,
just like how the Clippers didn't make the second round until they got Kawhi from the Raptors.
And they still didn't make the second round. Hell, Kawhi was injured. Kawhi's still injured.
Probably has an ACL injury. But the Leafs are honestly, they're so depressing. That's why for most of the season I didn't care. But for some reason in the playoffs I decided, let's have some semblance of hope. Because maybe they'll win. Oh, I forgot. They suck. They absolutely suck.
Ooh, the Clippers or the Leafs?
I'm sorry for the eardrum. I should have given you guys an eardrum warning. How are your eardrums doing? I'll turn down the mic a bit.
Oh, crap. Oh, boy. You're going to rant on the Leafs. Are all your
ears okay?
Alright, go ahead.
Chris?
Yeah, I'm here. Yeah, I'm here. Cooper?
Oh, crap! I turned down the mic all the way.
Damn it.
What were you saying?
No, I'm ready. I'm ready for your rant.
No, but did you hear? Was I too loud?
No, you're fine.
Okay. Because I keep worrying I'm too close to the mic, and that's gonna pick up too much.
No. I hear you perfectly fine.
And it's not too loud.
Mm-mm.
So you got my rant about the Leafs losing to a Zamboni driver and why they suck,
Yes.
but my semblance of hope. Okay, good.
Yes.
So the Leafs absolutely suck, and they will never make the playoffs again in my lifetime, in my father's lifetime, in my kid's lifetime, in my grandkid's lifetime, because they suck. The only way I'm gonna have hope is if Toronto somehow gets a second team through an expansion draft. Maybe you bring the team to the Toronto suburbs, because I've heard rumors about that. Might happen. That's the only way you're going to see another deep playoff run in Toronto. Because nothing good's going to happen to the Leafs. I'm sorry to be a pessimist. I don't see it happening.
I mean, I like the Montreal underdog story, don't get me wrong. I love it. It kind of reminds me of when the Marlins made the World Series both times.
I kind of understand your point. It's hard for me to support it because it's the Canadians. I cannot support them. It's just
I think
moral standards.
I think the MLB needs a Montreal team just to light up that spark again.
They need They need a good Montreal team to light up the sparks that you said.
Yeah, with the Blue Jays.
Yeah, I kind of get that. It would be nice if the Leafs were actually good, but I get your point. I wish it was the Leafs. It would be very nice if it was. I would be happy if it was an Alberta team. Winnipeg.
No, I'm talking about for baseball.
You're talking about adding the baseball team. Yeah, if they add another baseball team, for sure, I would add a team to Montreal. Maybe even give Vancouver an actual team instead of just having the Vancouver Canadians as the short season A-ball team for the Blue Jays. Because we could definitely use another baseball team.
So Cooper does not like, and it's funny because in the Discord, I have a friend who's from Montreal and she's going crazy right now.
Oh. I totally know how she feels. Not.
Well, I mean the Montreal Canadiens. Last time the Montreal Canadiens were in the Stanley Cup Finals, I was a few months old.
Oh, so that means you were born in '92.
Yes. Yes, I'm that old.
Long time ago.
Yes. When Wayne Gretzky was still playing for the LA Kings.
Yeah, that definitely was a long time ago. And that was definitely way before my time. Yes. That was over 10 years before I was born. A fun fact about me.
Yeah, Stanley Cup Finals is tomorrow, and we got some basketball playoffs going on right now. Let me update you on that.
And I haven't followed the basketball playoffs at all. I haven't followed it really that much. I shouldn't say at all. I kind of followed a bit.
Oh, because the Raptors aren't in?
It's hard to follow it without the Raptors, but I know that the Raptors, they secured the 4th overall pick, which is a good thing. They moved from 7 to 4. So that's some good news.
Yeah. 2 years ago, 2 years ago you guys won the title, and now you're the 4th overall pick.
So, chat from Tanner. The Mariners would throw a fit over Vancouver team. They would claim the territorial rights for British Columbia. If who was it? I think it was John. Was John Tyler? Or, who was that claimed the the Columbia Territory, the Oregon Territory, but you need to go back to those days to claim that territory.
Mm.
But actually, they are very similar areas, so it would make sense. But I know the way you mean it. The Mariners they would claim that Vancouver team. And the Mariners would lose most of their fan base because of that.
No, Atlanta up 7 with 2:20 left in the second quarter.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
You know what really surprised me?
Hmm?
Seeing the Hawks in the Stanley Cup Finals. It's not Stanley Cup.
The NBA Finals.
I mean NBA Finals. Oh my God! Sorry.
Well, they did in the 50s when they were in St. Louis.
Sorry, I keep mixing stuff up in my head. We keep going from sport to sport.
Yeah, like what's cool about this year's final is in the West, a team is going either for the first time or for the first time since a really long time. And in the East, it could be that a team ends a really, really long drought.
And what would make me the most happy is seeing a Phoenix Suns, Atlanta Hawks series. That would just make so many people unhappy because it wouldn't get that good ratings from all the big cities. It'd probably create a bomb. It would just make so many people unhappy.
Yeah, I mean, it would be good because you do have two of the greatest shooters with Devin Booker and Trae Young.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what I told the parking lot last week, is that you do have marketable players. They're not in big markets, but you do have marketable players. You have Paul George. You have Paul George, Trae Young, Giannis Antetokounmpo, and Devin Booker.
Yeah.
Let's see what happens, man.
And if I'm going to cheer for any team, I would cheer for the Hawks. I also cheer for the Suns because I know they're both good underdog stories, and that would make me happy.
Well, I mean, the Hawks aren't really that much of an underdog. They're the second seed. Yeah, they're the second seed in the West.
Well, compared to the past couple of years, the Hawks
compared to
a sucky team.
Yeah, the Hawks. I mean,
because
I think
as a Raptor fan, they've always been that team that
gets destroyed by LeBron James.
That haven't been that scary to most teams like the Raptors. They've just been that sucky team that's easy to beat. Kind of like the Charlotte Hornets.
Wasn't there a year that the Hawks were like the number 1 seed, and then they go all the way to Eastern Conference Finals and they get destroyed by LeBron and the Cavaliers?
Oh yeah, wasn't that the Kyle Korver Hawks?
Yeah, that was the Kyle. I think those were the Kyle Korver days.
That kind of like this time around because you have Trae Young playing the role of Kyle Korver.
No, but you're not going to compare Trae Young to Kyle Korver. I mean, the Hawks have.
I'm just saying it kind of is similar in that way because it's two great shooters.
Yeah.
It's just Trae Young is a much better playmaker. That's the difference.
Yes, and they have a better team. I think they have Gallinari. Yeah, they have Gallinari.
Yeah, and they have Clint Capella.
Clint Capella.
Kevin Huerter. John Collins. Bojan Bogdanovic, I hope I pronounced that correct. Thad Young, Lou Williams, Solomon Hill, I think. And also they have Cam Reddish, obviously.
It's good. It's a good playoffs. I like that.
Yeah.
It's not finally the same old teams. It was either I did a thing, when I noticed this year's final. Well, I mean, depending on what happens with the Clippers, but it's not the Heat, it's not the Warriors, it's not the Lakers, it's not the Spurs.
Yeah. And my thing about that it's not a team from a big market was that last year they had such bad ratings because they just had big market teams. You didn't have like Middle America rooting for a team, and now you have two teams that are basically from like Middle America.
Yeah, the Bucks, the Suns.
Well, I'm talking about like if it's the Suns and the Hawks, that's like a perfect matchup to have like a wide variety of people watch them, so they get good ratings.
And nobody would think that and I didn't think it was going to be. I thought before the season started, I think it was going to be like the Nets, maybe Philly, but shows what I know.
Yeah. If you asked me at the All-Star break, I would say it would be the Nets versus like Clippers. No, Clippers.
Well, the Clippers are still in. I mean, they're down 3-1.
But it's the Clippers.
Yeah, that's true.
The Clippers are cursed due to a racist owner that really did not like people that were different than his skin color.
Mm-hmm.
That was his problem.
Clippers need to move.
Yeah, maybe move back to San Diego. It seems like they need another team because they're showing they can definitely cheer for the Padres.
Well, from what I've heard is that Balmer, the owner of the Clippers, bought a land where SoFi is.
Oh yeah. You meant just moving out of the stadium. Yeah, I know about that. They're planning on opening up starting to build on some land there near SoFi. I think it's close to where the Forum is, which is owned by, it used to be owned by James Dolan, idiot son of Charles Dolan, who used to own the Knicks. Petulant
Dolan
child.
still owns the Knicks.
And that's why the Knicks haven't made the playoffs in a while.
No, they did. They just didn't. They just lost in the first round to Atlanta.
Sorry, I mean haven't made. I meant to say haven't went far in the playoffs and haven't won a championship.
Well, they haven't won a championship.
And why they wasted Carmelo Anthony and a bunch of other players. But
if you want to talk about the Knicks wasting players, I mean you have.
We can talk about that all day.
Yeah. And they go to the finals when Jordan is not playing, when he's playing baseball, and they lose to Hakeem Olajuwon and the Houston Rockets. And then they have a miracle run at the finals, and they lose to the up and coming Spurs dynasty.
Yeah. I feel bad for Patrick Ewing.
Yeah, one of the best. Yeah, that era of basketball was a rough one for many players.
Yeah, but Michael Jordan made it hard for a lot of players.
Oh yeah, no, and you had good players in that time. You had Reggie Miller, Patrick Ewing. You had a lot of players. All right, man, you ready to start wrapping up?
Yeah, I think I'm gonna start wrapping it up here. So, we have a chat. So Tanner said if Phoenix versus Milwaukee would be even more angering. ESPN's first take would be trashing Milwaukee. They got angry. Yeah, I agree.
No, I think they want Milwaukee because you have Antetokounmpo. But let's see what happens. I think it's halftime already in game 3 in Atlanta.
Yeah, and I'll let y'all go watch it because we've already done an hour of this, and I don't want to keep you guys for too long. So I'm gonna sign off here. So bye.